Welcome back. So today, we're diving into this incredible 400-year-old story. It's kind of like a fairy tale, but also a psychological thriller and a spiritual guide, all rolled into one. It's all about a journey of transformation. But, and this is the kicker, the price of that transformation is way higher than you could ever imagine.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What if you got a wedding invitation, but it wasn't really for a wedding? What if it was actually a test for your soul? I mean, really think about that. That's exactly where this whole bizarre and fascinating story kicks off. So our main guy is a man named Christian Rosenkreuz, and his incredible 7-day journey, well, it doesn't start with some huge explosion. Nope, it starts with a whisper, a really mysterious invitation, and a choice he has to make. And believe me, this one choice changes everything.
All right, day one. Picture this. Christian Rosenkreuz is deep in meditation, and suddenly this winged woman shows up and hands him an invitation to a royal wedding. This isn't just your average RSVP, though. In storytelling terms, this is what you'd call the call to adventure. It's that moment, that spark of spiritual awakening, and it's basically telling him, hey, you need to get ready because a massive interchange is coming.
So, on day 2, he gets to a crossroads. And this is where the story really shows its hand. You've got 3 paths that look super easy, pleasant, the ones most people would take, but these are dead ends. Then there's this 4th path. It's difficult, it's rocky, it's going to be a ton of work, and guess which one he picks? The hard one, of course. The message here is so clear, isn't it? Real wisdom, real growth, it doesn't come from taking shortcuts. You got to put in the work.
Okay, so he's made it. He took the hard path, and he's finally at the castle. You'd think he could kick back now, right? Wrong. The tests are far from over. In fact, they're just getting started.
So get this. Inside the castle, every single guest gets weighed on this giant scale. But it's not weighing their body weight, it's weighing their virtue. The place is packed with all these arrogant emperors and know-it-all philosophers, the type, totally full of themselves. And one by one, they get on the scale, and whoops, they're all found to be too light. They just don't have the substance, and they get tossed right out.
But here's the best part, the real twist. Our hero, Christian Rosenkreuz, is absolutely convinced he's going to fail. He's humble, he sees all his own flaws. But when it's his turn, that very humility, that self-awareness, it makes him heavy enough on the scale. He passes, no problem. It's his lack of ego that makes him worthy. Just amazing.
All right, so the big day is finally here. Day 4, the wedding is happening, everything is grand, everyone's celebrating. But right when the party hits its peak, the whole story just takes this incredibly dark, totally shocking turn.
Imagine it. The music just cuts out. The whole happy vibe just shatters. And in walks this mysterious figure dressed all in black. You can just feel this wave of dread crash over the room. Everybody knows something awful is about to go down. And then it happens. The unthinkable. In front of everyone, the king and queen, the very people this whole wedding is for, they're executed, beheaded. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, can you even imagine?
So what in the world was that all about? Well, this wasn't just a random gruesome act. It's deeply symbolic. In alchemy, this is the first and most important stage, called Nigredo, the blackening. It's all about decomposition, the dark night of the soul. The idea is that for any real transformation to happen, the old self, your old identity, it literally has to die.
Okay, so we've hit rock bottom, right? A moment of total darkness. But what comes next? Well, after the death of the old self comes what alchemists call the great work. This is where you start to create something totally new, something perfected, right from the ashes of the old. Now we're on day 5. The initiates who are left, they take the coffins with the king and queen and get on these ships. And this whole sea voyage, you've got to see it as a journey into the unconscious mind, right? They're heading for this mysterious place called the Tower of Olympus. Think of it like a mythical super lab where the ultimate alchemical work is about to be performed.
Okay, if you thought it was weird before, day 6 is where it goes completely off the rails. Inside this tower, they start this, it's a totally bizarre, almost sci-fi procedure. First, the bodies are broken down into a liquid. Then that liquid is distilled and used to create a special egg. From that egg, a perfect bird hatches. And then, get this, the bird's ashes are used to bring the king and queen back to life. And they don't just come back, they're reborn, perfected and immortal.
So, let's just pause and put this all together. What we've basically just watched is the entire 3-stage alchemical process, but told like a fairy tale. Remember that shocking execution back on day 4? That was Negredo, the black stage, the death of the old you. All that weird, wonderful work in the tower, that's Albedo, the white stage, cleansing and purifying everything. And the grand finale, the rebirth, that's Rubedo, the red stage, the reintegration, the perfection. It's the whole journey in symbols.
So after all that, after witnessing an actual miracle, you'd think our hero gets a medal and a happily ever after, right? Well, he gets rewarded for sure. But this story, it doesn't quite end that neatly. There's one last twist in the tale.
We're at the finish line, day 7. For everything he's done, Christian Rosenkreuz has made a Knight of the Golden Stone. It's a huge honor. But then, his curiosity gets the best of him. He sneaks a peek at the goddess Venus while she's sleeping. This is a big no-no. It's like he tried to look at the deepest secrets of the universe without permission. And for that, there's a price to pay.
So what's his punishment? Well, he doesn't get to go home. Instead, he has to stay behind and take on a new job. He is now the gatekeeper. His journey has come completely full circle. The guy who fought so hard just to get in the door now has to guard it for the next person.
And this is the craziest part. The story just stops. Literally mid-sentence, it just ends right there, leaving us with this incredible image of our hero now transformed, waiting at the gate. And that ending, it's like it turns the whole story around and points it right back at us. It makes you wonder, right? Is this whole journey of self-discovery something that we're now being invited to take? And is he the one who's waiting there to guide us in?